Hello folks, for today we have the game Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider for the PlayStation 1. Now, this is the very first in a very long and amazing series of video games. She's got a big old booty right there. Smack, give that a smack. Let me see, this was released in 1996. Definitely the beginning of 3D games. At least, you know, the major 3D games started popping. Here you see her riding a motorcycle, fighting a bear and a wolf at the same time, looking at some beautiful scenery, maybe some waterfalls, fighting a jerk, or maybe that's her friend, I don't know, I don't remember, and her swimming underwater. Sometimes a killer body just isn't enough. Here are the ratings for the critics. 100, 99, 99, 9.5. PlayStation's greatest adventure. Those kind of ratings really talk to you and make you feel like how relative this game was in 96. This game, it's kind of a love-hate with this game. I never played it as a kid. I played it for the first time as an adult. I had played a couple of titles back in the day. I really don't remember playing any. Maybe I played like one game for the PS2 a long time ago, but I don't remember that at all. I know I played the most recent ones, I think, for like the Xbox 360 or the Xbox One. I had an Alienware and I played one of the Tomb Raider games on there. That was just amazing. That was such a blast to play. I definitely like that adventure, ruins, Egyptian, you know, Indiana Jones type exploration style. Here's the game. Cool action images in the background. I'm definitely gonna miss tangible video games. I love tangible and vintage old school video games like this because you can hold them, you can enjoy them right in front of you. Everything nowadays is moving towards digital downloads and stuff like that. It just loses its meaning and its feeling, in my opinion. Here's the manual. You got a cool pharaoh looking dude there. I guess he's on all the pages or not. You got some pictures of Lara swimming there, teaching you the controls. Maybe I should have read the manual before I start playing. Jumping, grabbing hold. I do recommend, there is a training option in this video game when you start the game or right before you start. Introduction, cool story and stuff like that. There is a training option at the very beginning on the menu screen. I 100% recommend that you do that training before you start playing this game. If it's your first time playing Tomb Raider for PlayStation, because the controls are unique in the way that you control her walking versus running. Certain ways of jumping and grabbing hold of ledges is extremely important in this game. You can't just run around and jump on everything like if you're playing Crash Bandicoot or Mario 64 or something like that. This is totally different. 96, I think this was the year that the Nintendo 64 was released in Japan. Or maybe USA. 96, oh wow. Yeah, the PS1 was released in 94 in Japan and 95 in USA. So this was one of the earlier games. This game, honestly, maybe relative and for its time, it was pretty cool. It was interesting. I think it could have been better for sure. The levels definitely were pleasing on the eyes. You know, you had all these different textures, walls, bumpy hills or flat grounds. You know, the epic caves and levels. They were definitely very pretty to look at. It was very nice. I did definitely appreciate that. I know that took some work. You can see the moss growing on the rocks right here. One of the things that was a little bit rough was the gameplay, especially in the action sequences. It's something that you definitely have to get used to. Maybe once you get used to it, you know, hopping and doing backflips is going to be like essential, and it's about like 90% of what you do besides shooting when you're fighting someone. When you're fighting, just a bunch of backflips and shooting. It's insane. You also have to be very careful. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. Don't screw up, because if you do screw up, you are done for. And the save points in this game are indicated by little crystals that you'll find throughout the levels. Make sure to use those wisely. You have to make decisions like, should I use the save crystal now, or should I advance a little bit more in the level and then use the crystal? You know what I mean? Definitely important. I personally was only able to beat this game with watching the YouTube online walkthrough, because otherwise by itself I would have never beat it. I have a full-time job. I actually work a side job, you know, like on the weekends. I don't have all the time in the world, so I keep very busy. So I didn't have the time to just explore and look everywhere and like use up all my time to like find out where I have to go next. That's gonna be one of my complaints about this game. I mean, it's supposed to be maybe linear, but it's not very simple figuring out what to do. You know, I think 80% or 70% of the time I was playing this game, I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do? So I would walk around, I would look at different objects, and I just couldn't figure it out. And it was just kind of like frustrating. And I was just like, this is kind of a pain. Yeah. When I did run into villains and enemies, you know, that was pretty fun. It kept it pretty interesting. Definitely watch your health. I think it's definitely more for adults. It's not really a game that you're really gonna have a blast when you're a little kiddo. You're just not gonna figure out what's going on or what to do. It's gonna kind of seem useless. As an adult or a teenager, you know, you're gonna enjoy this a little bit more. I would give it I would, you know, give it, I want to be more positive, so I want to be more positive towards this game because of the work that they put into it, and because it is the very first in a series. This was a brand new idea, you know, in the Tomb Raider series. They were like, how are we going to do this? Let's try it out. It's 1996. This is the technology that we have access to at the time. I think they did a good job. I'm going to give this game... I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. I mean, there was really no story explained to you. You know, you didn't really follow a strong storyline. You're just kind of like jumping through the levels. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I guess I'll go for it. Random stuff will kind of happen throughout the game, and you're like, what the heck? Okay, I guess. The gameplay was a little bit rough, but it was fun, and it was a pleasure once you got past certain obstacles. It was always like, yeah, freaking A, you better believe I got past that. But it definitely was a bitch, because there's certain areas that you just can't get past, and it takes a million tries, and finally you'll get past it. So despite all these amazing reviews, you know, again, you know, maybe I'm being biased because I'm in the year 2020, but I'm gonna give this a 6.5 out of 10. Fun, but not amazing, in my opinion. All right, thank you.